everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. So we're here today for another episode of the flea market style traveler's notebook make along. This is episode 9 and we are doing the 7th page layout today. So this one hopefully you don't find it complicated. I don't think it is. I think it might take a little longer maybe. We'll see. So here it is. Okay, let's deconstruct what I have done with the prototype here. So this is the journal that I'm making as the prototype, and then the one that I'm making along with you is this one. So we need to make this page, but first let me explain it to you kind of page by page. So the basis of this page is a piece of scrapbook paper. I chose this one. I really decided to use a piece of scrapbook paper today because I just really need to use up my scrapbook paper. And also this is the kind of thing that I would never use. I don't usually use words when I'm making journals, and you can't really fold this in any kind of intelligent way. It's too big. So yeah, piece of scrapbook paper. So it's 12 by 12 and we're going to cut it down to the size of the journal. So I'm just going to fold it in half. This is actually the exact same piece of paper. I'm using both of them because I figured that makes sense, because I don't think I would use this any other way. The other thing you're going to need is just a regular lunch bag, a paper lunch bag. These ones are pretty standard here in Canada. I know there's different kinds of paper sacks. This one's specifically a lunch bag. And then you're going to need a piece of dyed paper of some kind. Coffee dyed paper, avocado, cabbage. This is a sheet that I dyed with cabbage and probably something else actually. So that's what I'm going to use for this project. And then the other thing you're going to need is just a nice little piece of stationery of some kind. That's going to go as a piece of ephemera. And then also washi tape, and we're going to do a wax seal. If you don't have a wax seal, you can use a sticker for this. Okay, so anyways, those are the materials. Now let's get into the page. So the page, on the outside you keep the pattern, so make it the outer layer. The inside, we're going to do something to it. I recommend spraying it with coffee or tea, or ink if you have spray ink. I chose a yellow ink, an acrylic ink. And so on the front page, this is the bottom of the lunch bag, and I did sort of an artful like wax seal here. So the one thing we have to be careful with, and I'll do this a little differently with the one we do today, I want this to be able to open for more writing space here. This is the bottom flap of the bag, so this is where the bag is glued together. Then we have this, we have a little tab here, and then we have a double pocket. So this is the inside of the bag. And we have this piece of stationery. I've used washi tape as an accent throughout this whole project. I looked at this work like the kind of thing I'm seeing a lot on Instagram and TikTok, where mostly bullet journalers are making like layouts. And so I really wanted to do kind of a spread that like made sense. So I used the same pieces, scraps of scrapbook paper, just to glue to the inner edge of some of the scrap of the dyed paper, and then just added a couple of accents of the washi tape. So this is a double pocket. One piece goes back here and then the other piece goes here. This actually helps to guide the little note paper inside this because it gives it a little more firmness. Then down here we just have another little scrap of the bag and another little scrap of the scrapbook paper, more washi, and you can flip that up for more writing space, and I added some of the blue paper there, more washi. Then we open it up. I used a little cutout from the same scrapbook paper. And then over here, I used more of the paper bag. This is the upper lip of the paper bag. And I added more of the scrapbook paper and washi. This is where we're using that little piece of stationery as our tuck-in. And then on the back, I used 2 brads. Now, you don't have to use brads. I just wanted to have some element of like hardware in here. Also, these are big brads. You might want to use the little ones for this, but I had the big ones on hand, so I thought I would use them up. So I just added some washi here, another little piece of the scrapbook paper. And then this is just a flip up, another piece of the scrapbook paper on the little flap, and then more of the blue paper here. Okay, so let's see if I can remember how I made this. We'll just set our prototype off screen for a minute, and I will get my guillotine so that we can chop this down to size here. So let me get the journal that it's going into, because I like to use that as my size comparison. So I want it to be, yeah, about there. Okay. Let me just, I think I know where I want to cut this here. And what edge do I want to use? So the last time I used this edge, so, or I kept that edge. Yeah, so I used this edge this time. So let's just get an idea of the size of the journal. It goes to about there. Okay, good. So we'll go 8. So keep your cutoff. We're going to use this. And then, again, with this, we want to make sure. So we're taking just a little over 1 inch off the edge. So probably like that. Okay. So now just open your journal to the spot where you're going to put this piece of paper, tuck it in, and just make sure it's inside, which it is. So we're good. So now, get the guillotine out of here. So we're going to keep all of our scraps, this and this, okay? So just set those aside along with your stationery. Now, the first thing we're going to do is work with this bag. So, excuse me. Okay. So what we're going to do is on this edge here, we're just going to cut along the bottom here to the top of where it folds. So you've got this. And then, as you probably see, we have a flap here. So the bottom of the bag actually has this natural flap fold to it, okay? So that just goes like that. So now, this is going to go right up here. Yeah, okay. Then I need my art glitter glue, and we're going to glue 3 sides. I did that toward the inside, yeah. Okay, so there we go. Okay, and then, yeah. I think in here, I'm missing a piece, I think. Hold on. I think when I cut it before, I had like a little piece that was extra. Maybe not. No, I guess not. Okay, no, I think I just cut that. Yeah, I must have just cut that. I just kind of used my scraps as I went along, so I just need to remember what I did here. Okay. Okay, so then we'll open this up. And the next thing that I did was I just measured across here. And yeah, so you've got your bag this way. So you see the inner flap here, this part is on the top and bottom. And that's the direction that you want it to create this notebook type thing, this flip up notebook. So measure it until you've just got like a little, maybe like just a tiny little bit of space on either side. And then just come in and take a look and just fold it back as so. And keep the lip part of the bag on this side. Don't use it as part of this, okay? So then once you've measured it, just take your ruler and just kind of carefully rip your bag. So you've still got this left, okay? Then we open it up and it looks like this, okay? So now we want to create this. So what we're going to do is pull one end out, okay, and fold it down. So it's just one of the ends you've pulled out. That's what we're going to use for this piece, because we want the bottom of the notebook to be open. So pull it off. Now you've got this thing, but just set it aside for now because we're going to make the notebook next. So inside here, you still have one of the bends in the bag, right? So that's what's going to be inside. So you want this little flap in there at the top. So then I'm just going to grab these two brads, and like I said, these are really big and long for this project, but it's what I have on hand. Then I just kind of measure, you know, a little bit more than the length of the brad, and then just a little bit down, maybe a 1/4 inch or so down, and then just poke your brad through. And just turn it so that you can open it on the back. Okay, that's one. And then the same process for the other side, just kind of measure it and then just eyeball like a good spot for it right there. And poke it in. Okay. All right, so now both brads are down, okay? And if you open it up, you'll see you still have your flap here. All right, so now we're ready to glue this down, and this gets entirely glued down. So I'm going around the edge first here with some art glitter glue. I'm gonna go right on top of the brads and then down, and then just some light gluing here too. Okay, and we will glue this down. Just go in between your brads, make sure it's all evenly glued down. Okay, these are a little bit off kilter. That's okay, you do yours straight. I do whatever I want, I'm a rebel. Okay, then just put the pin in the glue and move it to the side here. So now we have this thing. Let's just deal with the paper bag pieces first so that you don't get confused or lose any pieces. So this is the one that goes down here. Okay. So I'm going to just glue stick that down on the back. And I probably am going to do something a little extra over here on this side that I didn't do with the prototype, because see, the prototype, I've got flowers down here, which I like. Here I've got a bit of a word. So that's actually good because I can show you how to problem solve that. Okay, so there we go. Now we've got that flap. So then there's just one more part of the paper bag that we need to use, and it's this. And then the hard, you know, paper bag dissection part is pretty much over. So flip over your page, and we need to decorate the page. So let me get some spray. This is like a blue. I'm going to use this instead of the yellow that I used. So I'm just going to lay a piece of paper here, because this spray can get a bit of a wide reach when it wants to. Oh, this is actually black. That's interesting. Okay. I think it's black. Gray. Okay, gray. This is, if you're wondering, Marabou Mixed Media Art Spray. You could use any art spray. It's just an acrylic spray. Okay, I'm going to dry it with my heat tool. gun, so just a little bit of noise here. It does dry very quickly, so and the other thing you can do if you don't want to wait for it to dry is you can blot another piece of paper on top of it. Okay, so now we want to open up this piece of the bag, okay? What's left over. And then you want to just find the seam at the back and tear it open. Okay. So now I like to use the lip as, you know, something interesting that you know it's a paper bag. And it's kind of like it's a side tuck, right? But so it's the length of the whole page. So just go ahead and, you know, decide where you want it to be. You could go top, bottom, middle. The last one I did it on the bottom and I like how that looks. So I think I'll probably do the same thing. So we'll just measure here and tear it here. Oops. Okay. Let's line it back up again. Okay, and then tear it down here. Just be careful because this stuff tears very easily. And then we'll just keep these scraps hanging around in case I want to use them, which I might. But there's not very much left of that bag. So now, we want to get a piece of paper just to back this onto. Is that too small? Yeah. Well, actually, no, it fits perfectly. So, just going to glue stick the back of it here. And this, I believe, is, yeah, this is a no-sew project today. I made you do too much sewing last time, so I'm taking a break on sewing. Okay. So just plop that on there. All I can hear right now are doves outside my window. We have so many doves hanging around right now and I love it. They're so great. Okay, so I'm just going to leave a little bit of the background just to kind of add interest, especially here where it's missing that little gap. And then you get to keep the little ridges that are on the top of the bag where there was that serrated blade that cut the bags apart. Okay. Get these scraps out of here. Okay. Give that a smooth. Now I'm going to art glitter glue top, the long outer edge that doesn't have the little lip. Hold on. Yeah, okay, that's right. Just ignore me. Okay. All right. Okay, so we've got that done. So we've done all of our paper bag work. Now, the only other thing I might say, is with the scrap here, I could also create another little spot, but I think I won't. I think I'll do something different with that. So now let's turn to our dyed piece of paper maybe. And yeah, we'll do that first, I think. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do with the dyed piece of paper, I want to create the square that goes inside the flip up notebook. Okay, so just flip this up and flip this up, and just kind of measure your paper against the edge and fold it in so you still will have a little border. Okay. And the same thing again, just fold. Okay. All right, so now we're going to glue down the paper. And just sort of center it here. And just check the edges if there's any extra glue needed here. Sometimes that happens, and that's okay. There we go. All right, so now that's done. Now let's go to the next part of this that needs the blue paper, which is the inside of our little window here. So I'll just take my scissors and I'll just cut a little rectangle, measure it against here. We can trim a little bit off. Yep, okay. All right, then that's that. So the only other thing we have to create with this paper are the two journal cards, or little notebooks. So let's measure those pieces now. So this one looks decent actually for this, and I want it to stick out a little bit. So we've got two pockets here. We have one behind the bag, and it looks like I got a little overzealous with the glue. So I'm just going to take my plastic ruler and do my pocket opening trick that I do. I just kind of run and slide my ruler back and forth. You can kind of open your seams a little if you've used a plastic ruler, not a metal one though, because you don't want to tear your paper and like don't get, really, rough. So let me put this one in the back. Just push it in as far as I can get it to go here. Make sure it's in there. It is. Okay. All right, perfect. Then just going to make a fold to take the excess off. Okay. And then just set that aside because that's, well, or you can leave it in there as a judge for where it's going to sit. Okay. Now I need another one. So I will use this one. And then I want to see both of them. So I'll just crease this one so I can still see the other one behind it a little bit. Oops, that doesn't want to tear for me, so I will just do this. Okay, so now we have both of our pieces of paper, but now I want to do a couple things to them. So number one, I want to create that stiffer edge so that they can go in the back of the journal pocket. So I'm just going to add a bit of glue here. Then I'll just line that up here like that to the glue. And then just go to the back and cut around. So see, now you have this cute little edge. Then what I also like to do is just ink it because it just adds another element. It's kind of nice. I've been inking all the scrapbook paper bits so far, and I just think it looks nicer because it's white scrapbook paper and it just gives it that extra nicer look. Okay, so there's that. Now the next one, so let's put that one in. Okay, is that the right one or no? Is that the front one? Okay, so that one I think goes there. Let me just double check. Okay, go.
Did it scare you?
You did scare me. Okay, and then we'll stick this one back here. And I'm just going to double check the width.
Build your journal.
Okay. Yeah, things were still a little bit too long with this one, maybe. Unless I have it the wrong direction.
Yeah, this is for you.
Thank you.
Do you need it?
Sorry about that. I had to sort out my little one. So same thing with this one. We're just going to glue it and then lay down the paper here. Okay, cut around the edge. I just got that little extra bit there I gotta get off. Okay, and then again we will ink the edges. All right, so now we will pop that in the back pocket, and theoretically we should be able to still see both of them. Yeah. Okay, now the other little detail that I've been doing, like I mentioned, I want to use washi tape as a little accent throughout this, just to kind of bring everything together and make it cohesive. So I'm just going to add a little piece on each one. So that one goes in here, and this one goes in here. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now I'm trying to decide if I should. Yeah, I think I will. I'm not going to light my wax yet. I'm going to do the wax stamp very last because it's the kind of part that needs time to dry. So let's do that last. But the next thing I want to do is this tab for this pocket. So if you have a tab cutter, you can go ahead and use it. I decided to just cut a freeform tab from the scrapbook paper. Sorry for that stitch, I just had to switch batteries. Okay, so what I was saying is I want to cut a freeform tab from scrapbook paper scrap. We can do that with this. So I'm just going to, actually no, I need the big piece. So from the big piece here, we're just going to fold this edge, just one little edge about this size. So see, just a little piece like this. So just cut that off. And then your fold is going to be the thing that keeps your shape the same on both sides. So I'm just going to go sort of in a freeform kind of tab shape. You could also use a tab punch, but okay, so this is what we have, and I like the shape of that. So then again, just to follow your theme, you're going to ink around it. I don't need more ink, there's lots of ink there. Okay. Then just glue the back. Whoops. Okay. And it goes on this piece, see, so that little flap we have there. Okay. Got a little bit kooky with the glue. Okay. Just get rid of this extra glue. press that down, make sure it's well adhered. Okay. So now we have writing space right here. We have 2 pockets, and we have this front. That's also kind of writing space, but we're going to use it to decorate a little bit. Okay, so the other thing that we can do, oopsie, that was my tape falling, is we can make our this little thing here. So I just look at my scraps and see if I have anything that looks cute. This is pretty cute, so I'm just going to cut it out, and then I will ink around. And we will glue it down just over here as like a little snippet of decoration. Okay, then I'm going to grab my washi tape. I'm going to add another little piece up here. And then inside, another little piece down here. Okay, so now this piece is this page is completely done except for the wax seal. So now let's move to the back page, because that's kind of like the other more complex page, right? So now we want to make this look nicer. So what I start with is the inside flap. I want to add something fun on here. So I'm going to do that with my scrapbook paper scrap. And I think what I will use is this shape here. I want something that has one flat edge and one edge that I can freeform cut. So kind of like that, so one flat edge. And the reason why is that will allow me to glue it here and it will be neat. Oops, I forgot to ink it. So I'll just hold it for a second here. And I'm just going to ink the bottom. There we go. Okay. I'll just check for any excess glue. We don't have any. Okay, we're good. All right, so there's that. Now we can go to the front. So I want to find something I can use as a pretty thing to put on here. And I think, what other things do I need? I still need something to go on the inside and then something small. So I think what I'll use here will be, maybe this. I'm going to just trying to sort of see how I can share these images. Okay, perfect. So there's a cute little piece, and then ink around. Decide how I want it. Yeah, I think there. Okay, so that's the front. Then we need another little piece of our washi tape. Just put in the center of the two brads. Okay, so then that is complete as well. Whoops, 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 hold on. Did I put that a little too, you know what, the problem is, I think this is too high, maybe. Okay, you know, I need to run a bead of glue here. So just don't do what I did. You'll see here what I'm saying, like these are even, right? This one's a little too low, that's why that happened. So you shouldn't have any brad showing, but because this one's a little lower than that one, the paper wants to go higher on this side, so we're just going to glue it at a slightly lower level to just account for my terrible measuring that I did. And then we'll just do a nice neat fold there so it doesn't, you know, there's no problem now. So there we go. Okay. Now the other thing that I want to look at is, do I need any more of my blue paper anywhere else? No. So now we're going to use a piece of it down here to just cover up this beautiful, half of the word beautiful. So what I'm going to do with this is just glue it down as a nice little like spot for writing. And you can center that if you want there, that's better. Perfect. Then what I might also do is just a piece of washi tape. Maybe right there. Okay. Yeah, so that just makes that more pleasant. So now we're going to the inside, and this is kind of just the easy stuff now. So now we can take a look at what's left over of our scrapbook paper piece, because we need 2 more pieces that will look nice on here. So I'm going to grab this one with one flat edge and just kind of make this a little more freeform shape. Okay. And then the reason I left the edge flat, right, is to go against here. Okay. And then we need one more little bit for the other side of the page. And I think I'm going to just use maybe this, like cut it out like it's a sprig. Yeah. Okay. And then we're going to come over to this page and just add it right up here. Oops. Just make sure with any glue downs that you get the edges and any little fine parts so that they stay stuck down. Okay. Alrighty, so there we go. Now we just need our little piece of stationery to go into our pocket here. Alright. Now it's time for this seal. So ignore my little kiln here. It's a total mess because I've been doing a lot of wax seals and I use this one a lot. So let's just go ahead and do a slight on the go tidy, which means just putting the glues away because there's too much sticky when glues are hanging around. Okay, so let's light our candle. As I mentioned, this kiln is a very messy kiln. I have a few of these, and I also don't know where I put my Bluetooth, my little, I have this little arc lighter that like you don't have to use like a lighter. So I'm going to not bother cleaning out here, and I'm going to use 3 little bits of wax, and we will just let those melt for a bit. So you know what, let me melt this and then I will come back. Okay, so our wax is all liquidy. You can see hopefully that it's purple and it's got a little bit of green left in it from the last seal that I made. So where we want to put the seal, we don't want to impact the flap here, okay? So it can't go past this line. So you have to do it right over here. If you're not that experienced with doing wax seals or you're worried that it could go awry, you can actually do a wax seal on a different surface. Like you can do it on one of those cooling rocks or whatever, or on a piece of glass or something like that, and then you can glue it down. I'm just going to go for it because why not? It's only paper and wax. So let's just put our wax down. I usually kind of just swirl it around. You can choose if you want to do like little dots or drops around as well. I did so on the last one, but I'm not on this one because I'm using this big new one that I haven't even used yet. So I tend to just seed it and just hold it for a few seconds here. You don't really have to. I just haven't used this particular seal before and I don't know if it's cold in here or not. Oh, that's so pretty. See, it's a rose. It's roses. Yeah, so it came out really pretty and it's got little bits of marbly green in there. So, and it doesn't affect our fold. So after you do a wax seal, you just want to let it kind of sit for a little bit and cool and harden up. And let's just blow the candle. Never leave your candle burning. Good rule is when you're doing wax sealing, when you do the final seal, blow it out right away and then you don't forget about it. That's my rule of thumb. Okay, so I'm not going to put this in the journal immediately because it does need to set up for a little bit, I think. So I'll show you the first one inside the spread from my prototype. So it's going right in here. And it's nice because it's like there's the green and the purple and they just look really nice together, I think. And it's a cute little section of the journal. So then we open it up and there it is. Nice plain writing space. And then over here is very pretty. I like how these go together. Yeah. Okay, so that's good. We're not super chunky yet. We need to keep going. We're not done. We want this to be an ephemera stuffed kind of book. Okay, so there's this journal. Let me just check for tackiness. Not really tacky, but I want to leave it a little longer. So in this journal, the last page we made was this pinky red color. So let's see how this one sits there. Actually quite nicely. Yeah. And then over here. So yeah, that's really pretty. Okay, so that's it for me for today. As I am finishing this video, we have hit 1,000 subscribers. Yay! Thank you. You're all amazing and I love you all. So that being said, if you haven't yet subscribed, come join us. We have fun. We do all sorts of creative stuff here. So I will be back with the next episode very soon where we will make another layout. If you're looking for the prior videos in this series, check my playlists on my channel. If you go to playlists, you'll find the Flea Market style Traveler's Notebook Make-Along playlist. That starts with 2 episodes before like episode 1. And in the first 2 episodes, we make the cover. Okay, so then with I think episode 3 is when we start working on the page layouts. So it's all there. You can get caught up. You can make this at your own time. These videos will not be taken down. They're going to be there, you know, as long as I'm able to manage that. So they will be there. Yeah, and if you are playing along with me, let me know. I would love to see your work and feel free to tag me on Instagram. I'm Studioloo on Instagram. I'd love to see your spreads as well. That would be really great. So take care and have a lovely day. We will talk again soon. Bye for now.